Hi, my sacred soul beloveds, sharing all the glorious beauty that is here that we get to receive and be. And I felt really called to just share with you something that is a powerful, powerful tool I still continue to use in my own world, and deciding as I'm venturing like where it feels really good to sit and be and share with you. So I just moved to this space about a week and a half or so ago, and actually got this space the day that my book went into pre-order phase. And where I want to go with this is with all of that's been happening in the world, we all got to surrender and experience. This is my other part of the space here. It feels like the lighting is good when I get to face the ocean, so I'll let you see the beautiful background that's behind me, the gardens and whatnot. So obviously we all got to surrender, in surrendering plans, surrendering attachments, surrendering expectations, and allowing ourselves to fully be in this perfect training ground for embodiment of just being and living in the flow moment by moment, allowing ourselves to dance and play with life, follow the energy of where it gets to be. Well, I was intending to go back to the States when I got to surrender and stay and be in Mama Bali, and then all the beautiful things that I was called to create and share and do and be. Many of you experienced my Peace for the Planet Facebook group where we did the 7 days of light code activations that I was, hello buddy, I was given as an assignment from the Syrians and Pleiadians, and then that's led to Align to Manifest, which is the next, I feel like, my greatest gift to humanity that I'm being called to give and serve with. And I'm so, of course, grateful. Of course, everything always works out perfectly. I'm so grateful that I was, blessed with the space to be able to just be fully supported in all the creation I'm being called to serve with. And so I noticed the other day, I really felt this such strong desire of wanting to connect with my babes, my beautiful growth partners. And I called and I got a hold of my Gavin the Great, and his voice was like a whole octave lower. So Gavin the Great, my youngest, not just turned now, he's 13. My oldest just had his birthday yet. Last time the three of us were talking, Sky Guy was joking about how Gavin's voice was getting deeper. And there was a few times I heard it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it is. So then I call him and his voice is lower. And I'm like, we're talking, I'm like, babes, holy shit, your voice is lower. And he's like, yeah. And I just instantly felt the trigger and the motion of, I'm missing out. I'm losing my babes. He's growing up on me. I've lost them. Like all these thoughts or these feelings came up of, because I'm not there and I'm not physically with him, that I'm, he's growing, and now here's evidence that my youngest is even getting so much older, and it just triggered my mama heart. And what was so beautiful, and this is what I really want to share, the beautiful gift and what is available to us when we are open to all emotions and all experiences and all things, and have no judgments or stories or attachments or expectations around what it has to look like or how we have to be. I got emotional. I started crying. I said, oh, babes, what I notice is taking full responsibility. Those of you that do my 5 steps know this process of moving through emotional alchemy and moving through anything that's unconscious reaction to be able to consciously respond. And as I was like, I notice I feel sadness. I feel sadness that what comes up is that's like, feels like I'm missing out on you, or you're growing up so much, and I'm losing you. And I was like, isn't this interesting? And we shared as I was like, these are all the thoughts that are coming up. And I said, I notice sometimes these come up that I feel like I'm, these thoughts or things show up and like I might be missing you and losing you. And we laughed and we said, isn't that so funny? Because the truth is, and this is the part of moving through to see what's really true, is I was like, I know I can never lose you. I'm with you right now. Isn't that silly that here the brain wants to grab onto a story that if I'm not there, I'm losing you. I'm like, I'm with you right now. There's no way I can ever lose you. And I'm so grateful and excited and happy that you're growing and you're experiencing life. And I'm like, babes, you are such a divine, beautiful light. And we got to feel, he held space for, because we've done this, I've taught them this, and we've done this for years. It's like, every emotion is okay. I fully, allow them to feel all emotions, speak all thoughts, all words, all things, and we just consciously see it. And we love it, and we, get curious about it, and then we can choose how we consciously want to respond to it. and what's really true, and then what we're moving into that creates the next level of what we can receive. If we stay in the like, oh, I'm losing you, I'm missing you because I'm here. If that was my story, then I would be in complete suffering being here. I'd be losing them. I'd be thinking I'm missing them. I'd be creating that loss and that missing, and I'd be completely unaware of all that is here for me to receive, and also putting stories, attachments, expectations, blame, shame, etc. on my experience here, on their experience there. All that energy that is in the field that most people aren't even aware is what they're then creating their life. I can only receive this much joy because I'm saying shit's happening and I'm out of control, and this is, because of the world and this, and I'm losing that. It's like, wow, that's your reality. Just from choosing those unconscious thoughts to exist and feelings to exist instead of being with them fully. I shared these were the thoughts, and we evaluated. It was like, isn't that funny? Because what's really true is I know that, I'm perfectly here, supported. I'm meant to be here at this time. I'm so supported as the lockdown thing is happening. I'm doing this, and you're getting to focus on that and have all these experiences. And I'm like, babes, what's really there? See, what's really true underneath all of it is just that I love my babes. I was like, what's really there is just that I love you so much. I'm so excited to get to see you in divine timing. Now, we don't say miss because that creates more missing. If I say I miss you, it's only putting in the field that something's missing from within me. Again, these are the things we're speaking in a core. In my sovereignty, there is nothing missing or lacking ever. I am always whole and complete. Now, I could go extremely woo-woo on you if that's the word you want to use for it, yet truth is that I'm God and you're God and we're all God and this is all God. So it would be out of my divinity. It would be out of my, sovereign birthright, out of the recognition of my truth to speak to something. I require something outside of me, that something is missing. And it actually, again, energetically in the field just says, let's keep bringing things up to keep that happening, because what we're speaking into in our reality is missing. And so our shift is, we always say, I'm excited. I'm excited to see you. I'm so grateful I get to be with you. I'm so happy to be with you. And I'm like, babes, what are you wanting to create? And so we shifted our conversation to how grateful we were for the experience I'm in right now, and how I'm so supported, and how I get to, I'm being called to create all these things, and it's just such a beautiful time. I'm so grateful for all the shifts on the planet, and, got to speak to with Gavin what he was excited about and what he was creating and doing. And it was like, and, I'm so grateful and excited that in the divine timing, I know I'll get to be with you, and I know we're always connected. And so it's like having the conversation with my little girl inside to reaffirm this is what's really true, is that, we're always connected. There's no way we could ever be missing or losing, etc. And these stories of like, if I'm not there physically, then this, and those are just old programs of the past, of what I was taught at a certain time that it had to look like to be enough, to be a good mom, to all the things that are just creating suffering. And so as we alchemize that, and I said, babes, thank you so much for letting me share with you fully what I was feeling and allowing me to cry and he's like, yeah, of course, mom, of course. He's like, yeah, I'm like, those things come up and I feel them, and it's so, beautiful to allow us to have space for them all to exist, and then to clarify them and what's really true. And he's like, yeah, mom, of course. Like it's normal for us to allow all feelings to be there. He didn't go, oh, I feel like bad, my mom's feeling this way and I got to show up this way or make her happy. Or there's no manipulation shit happening. There's just pure, I take radical responsibility. I notice I'm feeling this, and it's okay for me to have all these emotions. And because I've taught my boys that all emotions are okay, they're like, oh, okay, you're feeling that, you're experiencing that. Cool. And it's like, there's no attachment that has anything to do with them, or there's no placing outside of ourselves. We're fully in our own, experience of radical responsibility. And so then again, the alchemy process, as you feel fully, what I wanted to share is that as I teach emotional alchemy, it's cleansing layers and layers and layers from lifetimes that are stuck in your cells. So the more in depth that you can go, the more you can receive. The more you become that this is your norm, it's just that fast and easy. Like I shared, I was authentic, I cried, we laughed, we shifted it, we saw what was really true, then we, spoke into all the joy and the bliss and the pleasure and everything we were receiving and creating and going to be experiencing, is I'm like, I'm so excited to be with you. And what do you really want to create? Like, what adventures do you want to create? And like, this is what I'm intending. We'll create a beautiful secret sanctuary in the mountains. We'll get to go do paddle boards and be on the lake. And yeah, is there anything else that would feel fun for you? And we're speaking into all the bliss and the joy and the pleasure. And so it's like, that's all being spoken into the field to all be taken care of. I always receive the most gorgeous sacred sanctuaries, as you can see, because I pre-pave that the angels and the universe and the divine effortlessly takes care of it for me and aligns all the details for me to just receive it. So all of this is, I'm in micro alignment of anything that comes up. It doesn't get suppressed. So what anything that you're feeling, anything that's there that you push away or ignore is still there. And in fact, it's only going to build and keep coming up until you're ready to witness it and go within. And every message that your soul requires for your greatest healing is what's right in front of you. It's what's right. It's there. It's next for you, because that's what layer gets to then be healed to go, oh, I can experience even more because I let that layer that was having a block of energy blocking me from receiving more to be fully felt and healed and cleansed and cleared and transmuted, because that is the healing process. It is through emotional alchemy, my loves. And so I just wanted to share the beauty of being in relationships when you get to be that space for yourself. You can only hold the amount of emotion and space for others to the level and degree you can hold it for yourself. You can only receive as much love as you're willing to give yourself. You can only give as much love as you're willing to actually give yourself. It's all a reflection of how much you can be with all of you. So when you start to practice being with all emotions and all feelings to all degrees, it can move through that fast and easily. There's nothing to suppress or hide, and it just gets cleansed and cleared and it's transmuted, and then it's like there's just pure excitement there. So that is such a gift for us as we practice holding the field for each other, to just, all things are okay. All emotions and all things allow us the next level of receiving. So I wanted to share that with you. I love you so very much. Enjoy your magical, miraculous, blissful, and blessed day, my loves. The power of choice is yours, so always choose your best life. Love you.